Hey travel lovers, and welcome to Wanderlust for Life. I'm Jessica and I've been an expat in Amsterdam since 2014. And if you want more expat videos, Amsterdam videos, or travel videos, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. But today I'm answering some of your top expat questions, so let's dive right in. By the way, can I just say this is a glorious day in Amsterdam. It is 20 degrees Celsius and I cannot get over this weather. Also, I'm sitting on the side of a canal. I am right by the Hermitage Museum, super famous, and you're gonna hear city noises, so that's just the way it's gonna be for today. I hope you don't mind sitting outside with me. So let's dive right in. I have my cheat sheet of questions on my phone. So the first question is, when would you suggest is a good time to move? This is specifically asking about COVID-19 restrictions, but it's a good question in general. I think a good time to move would be spring or summer because it'll give you the best chance to get yourself acclimated with the city before the bad weather comes in, because winter isn't our best season, but there is still stuff to do and you can still get around super easy. But I would just give yourself the warm weather, the sunshine, to really fall in love with the city and find your way around, but also like find your favorite spots. So summertime definitely. But as far as the COVID-19 stuff, if you are looking to transfer with your employer, you can definitely still do that. But if you're coming on your own, I would wait a little while because restrictions keep changing. But yeah, if a company is bringing you over, it should be no problem. The next question is about family-friendly stuff. I'm going to answer what I know, but I do want to say that I don't have kids. I do have friends that do have kids, but this is not my forte. If you want to see more questions about family-friendly stuff as an expat or just how things work here, I know there are some of you who are interested in that. Leave your questions in the comments below and I'll see if I can get one of my friends on camera to answer those questions for you. And then, they've actually been through the process and they can tell you more specifically how it goes. But the question is, looking for some family-friendly stuff where mom and dad can chill. Yeah, we definitely have places like that. We have some indoor playgrounds where you can grab a coffee and hang out. We have some outdoor areas with beaches, so sand and stuff. There's one called Plek. It's in Nord. It's right by the NDSM ferry. And there's playgrounds all around the city. So if you're just looking for a place to be able to let them roam free, that's a great place. And we have so many parks. If you're looking for bars and stuff, I'm not totally sure, but like I said, leave your kid questions in the comments below. Okay, next question is, what strategies have worked for staying in touch with family and friends back home? I'm gonna be perfectly honest and tell you that I am not good at that. I'm just not. The thing about being an expat is you have the life that you had there and you have the life that you have here. And so that makes it very difficult when you're trying to live two lives at once. Of course, you're going to talk to your friends and family, but it's not going to be as frequent as you probably think when you first leave. I use Google Voice. I set it up before I left the United States because I'm not sure if you can set it up once you're out of the US, but it has been great for actually calling, and then Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Instagram, those things, but also setting a time to chat. So actually saying, all right, at Sunday at 6 p.m. my time, we're gonna have a call and we're gonna catch up, and then you can determine if that's a video call or what have you. But those are the services I use. But yeah, it's difficult. And I also want to point out something that there's been some questions in the comments about using expat versus immigrant. I am an immigrant. Sean is an immigrant. We came here to live our lives. We don't intend after a certain year mark we're going back. This is what we decided. So I would say an immigrant, based on what I've read, is somebody who moves to live somewhere indefinitely, whereas an expat people tend to think is a person who goes for a few years to work for a company. I use them interchangeably. I do use expat mostly here on YouTube just because of the search engine and that's what people search for. But I'm not going to get into the politics behind it or anything like that. It's just, I guess, what you're used to hearing is how I do it. But I think we should all learn a little bit more about that kind of thing. But because we're here to stay, keeping in touch with friends and family at home and keeping your life here is definitely a struggle. I think that's the best I can answer that question. I hope that actually answers the question. Okay, how can I move abroad? I get this a lot, a lot, because Yeah, moving to another country isn't easy. Like, it's just not. Like, traveling's easy, moving is not. And I think most people know that. But if you can, for the Netherlands specifically, we have a thing called the Dutch-American Friendship Treaty, and you can look into that if you want to start a business here. It can be a small business. It's not like you have to make a Fortune 500 company or anything, but you can do that. So it's the DAFT, Dutch-American Friendship Treaty. You can also work for a company in the US or anywhere in the world that has an office here. That's a great way. That's a way a lot of people that I know come here. And also for grad school, I would really look into going to grad school. It's probably cheaper than it is at home, and it can be shorter. So you can actually get a master's here in like 1.5 years versus 2 years. So that is a great way to do it. And after that, I think there's a scheme where you can stay a certain amount of time to look for a job, but I would look into that a bit more. But just coming over and trying to find a job is not ideal because companies don't necessarily want to sponsor you, and there is a list of sponsored companies. I'll leave a link in the description for you, and then you can look at those companies so you can get hired from abroad. I have just found that for a lot of people that's quite difficult because they would rather hire you when you're here, but there's no guarantee of that. So by applying for jobs ahead of time, getting in touch with headhunters and things like that is a great way to do that. And then if you have a specific skill set, yeah, they might already be looking for that, and then they'd be happy to sponsor you. But not every company can sponsor and give you a visa, so it's worth looking into that a little bit more. And quickly, if you want to support this channel, you can join our Patreon. We have a couple different tiers where you can join our live stream that we have every other month, and we have an extra video every month where Sean and I talk about different things. It's really fun. It's a fun little community, and you can get some like personal time with us on the live stream, and yeah, we just enjoy meeting you guys. And of course, we appreciate any support that you'd like to give, whether it's subscribing, leaving a comment, liking, sharing, joining the Patreon, whatever fits what you want right now is amazing for us as well. And we're just glad to have you watching the video, so thank you. Okay, back to the questions. Is it easy to find a job without speaking Dutch? Yes and no. Amsterdam is a very international company. The Hague is an international city as well, with obviously a lot of government offices, embassies, and things like that there. But in Amsterdam, we have some major companies where you don't necessarily have to know Dutch. But I will tell you that those are going to be jobs that, so basically, if you know Dutch, you have obviously more opportunities on lower level positions, whereas if it's a higher level, high skilled position, then you probably don't need to know Dutch in a lot of the companies here, but it helps your chances for sure. That's where applying for jobs before you move comes into play, so that you know what you're getting into, and then you know the expectations that are set. Don't you pay high taxes? Why, yes, we do. But the thing here is you get used to how you're paid. So we also get paid monthly here traditionally. So you have to get used to that as well. I don't know that that's every company, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty standard around here. You get paid like around the 25th of the month. And if I'm wrong and you're watching this and you live here or you're Dutch, please let me know in the comments. I've only worked for one major company, and so did Sean, and the current company that he's worked with now also gets paid around the 25th of the month. But you get used to how much you're paid, when you're paid, and how much taxes you owe. And the thing is, before you accept a position, you know how much your take home is going to be. So I don't see that it's that big of an issue, if that makes sense. So you just have to know what you are going to have to pay for rent and all of that. Like, figure out your budget ahead of time, and then just know if you can afford that on the salary that you're given minus the taxes. And the taxes are very straightforward here. You can just go to the website, put in your salary, and figure out what you're probably going to owe. So hopefully that helped. If you want to see more expat videos like this, leave me a comment down below, like what kind of questions you have or what kind of videos you would like to see. But also, if you want to see more of Amsterdam or you want some information about that, let me know exactly what you're curious about, and I'll try to make a video for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.